Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about Haiti and being the world's policeman and being the world's EMT. We're going to do this because if you don't know, the situation in Haiti is not going well, and the government there has made a request. And I'm really worried that the U.S. is going to say yes. Okay, so the government in Haiti has requested foreign troops to come in and help restore order. One of the things that I've been a big proponent of is that the United States should become the world's EMT, not the world's policeman. This would fall under being the world's EMT. The problem is we've never developed the EMT force. We've never developed the worldwide ambulance force. We have the military, and we try to use the military to do that. We try to force them into that role. That's not what the military's for. The U.S. military is not a peacekeeping force. It's a force that wins wars. And right now, somebody's going to say, no, the U.S. doesn't win wars. No, the U.S. wins wars. It loses the peace. It doesn't have the follow-on force. When you think about Iraq as an example, it did not take long for the United States to win the war. The problem is, without the follow-on force, the EMT force, to come in and help reestablish the country and let them, have their country back, the U.S. military just ends up staying and staying and staying and staying, and eventually leaves. We see it over and over again. This concept has been talked about for decades now. There are a lot of people that have advocated for a separate force, a force that isn't a war-fighting force, to deal with stuff like this. One of the biggest advocates is Thomas Barnett. He has a TED Talk on YouTube that's worth watching. Don't agree with everything in the way that he frames stuff, but as far as getting the concept down, there's nobody who can explain it better than him. The United States has a habit of trying to force the military into these roles, the U.S. military, and that is not what they're for. And the way that Barnett has described it in the past is trying to switch back and forth between being a soldier and being an aid worker. And you can't train a 19-year-old kid to do both. Haiti has made the request. Certainly, there will be countries that volunteer to do this. The United States probably shouldn't be one. The UN went to Haiti, spent years there. It was very troubled. It didn't go well, as evidenced by the fact that they need troops again. What they need is investment. What they need is a way to process a politically bankrupt country and bring it out on the other side under the control of the people of that country and not a client state. That's not what the U.S. military is good at. The U.S. military is good at taking down governments, not building them. Developing this force could come out of DoD's budget. Developing this secondary force that's there to act as the world's EMT. The money's already there. It just has to be prioritized. I'm of the firm belief that if the United States developed that capability, the capability to help, for lack of a better word, failed states, and to get them out the other side under their own power, that would do more for world peace. It would do more for the political power of the United States than the military would. The military is there to take down governments, not build them. This request, it went out. The State Department says they're considering it. They've asked Americans to leave the country. I would hope that in this instance, the U.S. sits this one out, or maybe provides financial assistance, but doesn't send troops there. We're at the point where we have to develop that force. We have to develop that capability before we can try to use it. We don't have the world's EMT force built. What we have are a bunch of cops that, yeah, they've got a little bit of a first responder training, and we try to force them into that role. It doesn't work. And when it comes to the actual use of the military, when you're talking about the use of American force through a war, that follow-on force, that same force, the world's EMT, is the organization that can actually stabilize the country rather than leaving the military to do it. It's two different skill sets. With the apparent future decline of Russia, there are going to be power vacuums that open up in various countries. This is a capability the United States needs that could prevent war, which, I mean, that seems like it should be the goal, right? But before we start doing it, we have to actually build that force. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.